Good evening and a very warm welcome back to beautiful Dubai. Tonight I'm going to be flying with Qatar Airways through to Doha on board their Airbus A320 in their regional business class. Really been looking forward to this one. It'll be a very first time for me and indeed the channel, so come along, it'll be a good one. So although we're kicking off this afternoon in Dubai, we're actually travelling north 10 minutes or so of DXB International Airport to Sharjah. This video really will epitomise why it's worth checking out more regional hubs, particularly for long haul journeys. I got this particular flight an awful lot cheaper because I originated the journey from Sharjah. Sharjah Airport is really quite small, so it's a very quick process through from check-in into the actual aircraft itself. I was very quickly checked in with partially thanks to those priority check-in lanes, and it was then straight up to passport control. In just under 2 or so minutes, I was then straight through into the main departures area and bound for the lounge. There's just a single lounge at Sharjah Airport, but it is brand new and it really is a very nice place to spend a couple of hours before a flight. As you come through into the lounge, you're faced with the main seating area. This features a really wide variety of different seats. One of my favourite features, however, of this lounge is the really super views you get straight out of the window. That is indeed the plane will be on a little bit later. So for those of you that do have that anxiety around the plane going without you, this is a really nice lounge to spend time in. As you make your way through to the restaurant area, there is a bar which does indeed serve alcoholic beverages. The restaurant itself operates as a buffet-only service and features some nice options. This does seem to be a lounge still expanding here. You can see one of the new seating areas which they're still working on. This was yet to fully open, but I think when it's finished, it really is going to be quite a sizable and nice lounge indeed. I took some time to chill out before the flight, and then it was straight on to boarding. Well, as ever, a hugely warm welcome by the amazing Qatar Airways crew. Upon boarding, it was the older style of business class seating on this particular aircraft, with the seats laid out in a 2-2 configuration. Although they did look a little bit old hat in today's day and age, the quality of them really shone through, and we'll touch on that a little bit later on, but certainly settling into the cabin, it was really quite a nice welcome from my favourite airline indeed. To check out the seats in a little bit more detail, you're certainly spoiled for the range of different charging options. The seats operate with a little menu just down to the side of it, so plenty of adjustment was available. We'll check out the bed mode a little bit later on as well. As you'd expect, the headrests were fully extendable, and you could also configure those to suit. Of course, being a post-COVID era flight, the full service was very much back, so it wasn't long at all before the warm towel was served alongside a lovely glass of the champagne. I particularly liked how the little table feature extended. This really did feel and look quite high quality indeed. Not before long, however, it was time to push back, so cheers, let's get out to that runway, and I will certainly take some pleasure in showing you the particular takeoff on this evening. That said, the service certainly didn't stop there. As we taxied out, there was also some time for some dates and also Arabic coffee. I'm not usually a particularly big fan, but as they say, when in Rome, let's indulge. Before we take to the skies, YouTube recently told me that less than 2% of you watching my videos are currently subscribed. Whilst the channel is fairly new, it's packed full of an awful lot of content, so if this is your thing, it would be awesome to welcome you on board. As ever, a really fun takeoff on the Airbus A320. It was a fairly hazy sort of evening on that night, but hey, that's the UAE sometimes. With that being said, some nice views over Sharjah as we flew out over the coast, bound for Doha. One thing's certainly to be said for sure, we did just about take to the skies in time to enjoy what was an absolutely gorgeous sunset as I peered out of my many windows that I had access to really get the most of this. The flight duration is only about an hour or so, but I did manage to get across to the bathroom so I can show you that. As ever, this was in really good condition with Qatar Airways and packed full of some nice amenities. That said, With it being such a short service, the crew were very busily getting the dinner service ready, and this was all enjoyed with thanks to the latest World Cup menus. The food option consisted of a couple of pie dishes. There was then also some separate pages for the beverages as well. Both alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks were served on this particular service. Now with this slightly older style of seating, absolutely everything extends out of the armrest. On this particular occasion, I really liked the table design. Although the seat, as mentioned, is a little bit older, the detail and styling was very nice, and the table certainly provided a very firm surface to both eat and also work off. On this particular occasion, I opted for the mac and cheese arancini alongside the chicken pie. It really did taste as good as it looked, and it was all washed down with a nice glass of the white wine. After the dinner service, it was time to check out the onboard entertainment. This was all aided by the full headset. They're very much in line with what you'd receive on a long-haul flight, so that was really nice. The screen, just like the table, popped out from the armrest. It was slightly older style, but certainly featured the most up-to-date entertainment system with an awful lot on there, particularly for a flight of this very short duration. Shortly before landing, a cold towel was brought around, so that was very nice as a little freshen up. I also got a couple of minutes to check out the fully reclined mode in these seats, which was really very comfortable, all aided as ever by the fantastic Qatar Airways blanket. Now, whilst we touch down in Doha, I should say these short flights to the UAE are actually ticketed in first class, which for those of you that are part of the One World Alliance will be interested to know that they are worth 60 tier points. So if you are flying to Dubai, this is well worth a route looking into. Well, that's me back at Doha International Airport. Another fantastic flight with Qatar Airways. Pretty much full marks all round, both in terms of the service and food. Absolutely fantastic as ever. Tonight, I'm going to be flying on to Bangkok on their A380. So to join me for that one, hit the video link in the bottom left-hand side. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one.